So, do you hate yourself? If you do, you're in good company because a lot of people do. In fact, if you know or if you admit that you hate yourself, fact is that you're actually a step ahead of everybody else. Excuse me. The reality is that most people, even though they don't like themselves or actually hate themselves, they can't bring themselves to admit it. And it isn't necessarily that they don't want to admit it, it's just there's this resistance, and even probably not even realizing that they do feel that way about themselves. Because to go into the emotions that actually cause them to feel that way would be too painful to even entertain. So most people avoid going into those feelings, and then they just cover them up. But that doesn't remove the fact that they still hate themselves. Now, why do I say this? It's because this has been my experience. I didn't really think I hated myself. In fact, I had no reason to think I did. But when I started going into the feelings that really were deep down inside me and what was causing a lot of the things that I did, what was the reactions that I would come up with, the feelings of irritation and feelings of anger and all these other emotions that would come up, sadness and just things that I didn't like, that would be automatic reactions to situations around me. As I delved into those things, I actually realized that they were anger at myself. And it came down to hatred of myself. And so it was by working through that, that little by little, I began to be more compassionate with myself and give myself the love that I needed for so long. Love that I thought that I hadn't gotten from people around me. And not that it was their fault necessarily, not that they didn't try to give me love, it was just the way I responded to them and the love that they gave me, not feeling it. And so I developed this feeling within myself that I really didn't like myself. And it shows up in judging. When we're critical, when we're judging of ourselves, that actually is self-hatred. So if you know that you hate yourself, or even if you suspect that you hate yourself, or you just feel like every once in a while you don't like yourself, you're dealing with self-hatred. And the way you can overcome that is by asking yourself, can I let go of judging myself? Can I let go of criticizing myself? Will I let it go? And when? And by asking this to yourself over and over again, little by little, you'll start to see that you release these feelings of anger, judgment, hatred toward yourself, criticism. You'll let them go. You'll let these things go little by little. And you'll start to feel better and better and better about yourself, to where you really begin to feel that compassion and love toward yourself. You'll really start to believe that you are worthy, because so many of us deal with this feeling of unworthiness. Maybe we feel we're worthy when we're around certain people, but then when we get in the company of other people, maybe we don't feel worthy. Maybe we feel like they are better than we are, or maybe not totally better than we are, but maybe in certain aspects. And so we criticize ourselves because we aren't as good as they are in those areas. So self-hatred, it's something to work on, something to look at, something to admit. And once you admit that you have it, you can actually work toward overcoming it through this releasing process. So that's what I leave you with today. Ciao.